Hi, my name's Megan. I'm 38 years old, and I'm originally from Kensington, Philadelphia.
How you doing today, Miss Megan?
I'm doing good, okay.
It's a pleasure to be able to, have a conversation with you today.
Thank you.
And
Pleasure to be here.
welcome to the channel.
Thank you. I'm grateful you're giving me a chance to say something, say my piece, I guess.
Well, what brings you out here today, Miss Megan?
Honestly, what brings most people out in Kensington? My addiction.
And currently, what drugs do you struggle with?
My biggest struggle is with dope that's out here. I was doing a lot more of it, and I've been trying to slow down so I can stop. My struggle is really with self-destruction. I'll do anything that destroys me. So I dabble in other things, but dope is my main demon.
And how did you get introduced?
So, I mean, I did pills when I was a teenager, but dope, I sought it out after I was in a pretty bad abusive relationship in my late 20s. I went looking for, that complete emptiness it gives you, I guess. I thought I would be able to kill myself with it, that was my plan, and it didn't go that way.
Well, nobody could predict, God's plan, and I'm happy that it didn't go that way because I'm happy that you still with us.
I'm happy too. And in a lot of ways, it brought me to homelessness and to complete despair, but it also brought me to a place where I had been able to help people or save someone's life. And, and when I was in my regular life before, like, my addiction took me to this level, I couldn't tell you how much I didn't know anything about myself. Like, I had to totally destroy everything in my life and come to this far to stop all the other voices in my head and hear my own. Now I just have a hard time finding my way back to regular life.
Well, I pray for you, and hopefully, God give you the strength to find your way back. And how many bags a day would you say you use?
All right, so recently I've been slowing down. I was probably up to about 14 a day, maybe 15 a day. Now I got myself down at one point to 5 or 6 bags, and in the past week or so, it's kind of going back up a little bit. So, I'm trying to get back to the 5 or 6 bags, but I'm probably more like 8 or 9 right now.
So total a day, how much would you say you spend on drugs?
Well, that's, just the dope. So I add little bits of uppers to it because I don't want to be passed out all the time. So I'll add a little meth or a little crack so I don't end up on my face and someone taking advantage of me. Anywhere from 60 to $120 a day, probably, which isn't that bad on a scale of what it could be. But I also gamble, so that adds to my demons and makes me spend more.
And how do you support your habit?
I do different things with the men I meet out here, and I play these stupid machines. Believe it or not, sometimes I win.
So you're a woman of a lot of different hustles.
Yeah, you could say that. Shoot, I've pumped gas before to get a bag. I can't really do the panhandling thing. I've tried. It just doesn't work for me. I have to work for my money somehow, some way.
And that's, understandable.
Yeah. So my dad actually took off with me when I was really small. When I was like still barely out of, infancy. I was a toddler basically. He took me down to Mississippi, and we moved around a lot down south, the deep south, till I was 7.5, and they found me and brought me back to Kensington because that's where my mom was, and my other side of the family was looking for me the whole time. Then I lived in Kensington and then Mayfair, and I lived with a single mom home, and then my dad, on every other weekend thing, and I was the middle child, and I was the target of a lot of my mom's anger and bipolar issues, and I was the black sheep even before I knew what a black sheep was. And, I was sad as a child. I was a very sad child.
Do you have any children?
I do, but for my own reasons, I don't like to bring that up.
Okay, it's understandable. What about work history?
I was working since I could deliver newspapers at 12 or 13 years old. And then I worked in restaurants a lot. And, I worked since the 12-year-old. I had a job consistently up until like my mid-20s. My last job, I cleaned for a couple years for a fire restoration company. And they actually had sent someone down here looking for me to try to get me to come back to work, because that's how much I was a very good worker.
Well, it's never too late to get back to it.
Yeah, no, I'm actually working on trying to be a home care aide for my mom right now. And I had done that back when I was 19, so I'd have some kind of experience doing it. It's a step in the direction of like normal life again.
That's so true. Do you still have contact with your family?
As of right now, I'm in contact with my mom, and I'm working on the courage to get in contact with my kids. My dad passed away a couple years ago. So, a lot of things are, they're in my mind, and I'm trying to get there, but I haven't fully gotten to that point where I can pick up the phone and call.
Well, that's always a tragedy when somebody go, but just believe he's still looking down on you, giving you his strength.
Yeah, I know. He throws me a curveball or a message every so often. I hear his voice in other people sometimes, and it's just, I hate feeling like I disappointed him.
Well, you're not a disappointment, you just had a few setbacks, but you get back to where you need to be.
I certainly pray I do.
Since you've been out here in Kensington, have you witnessed or experienced any horror stories?
Yeah, there have been a few things that have gone terribly wrong. One of the worst things, I feel like, when cops they Narcan me like excessively. Like I was really tired and did some dope, and I passed out on the sidewalk, and the people around me just left me there like jerks. And the cops, when they tried to wake me, since I didn't wake up, they, instead of putting more effort into waking me up, they just Narcan me like multiple times. And when I woke up, lied to me and said they didn't. And at first I thought I was going crazy because this weird buzzing feeling was in my body, and it just felt terrible, like something was wrong. My head started getting real heavy. I couldn't hold it up. And at first I told them, don't call an ambulance. But then I said, no, y'all got to call an ambulance for me. And they just stood back and like mocked me and treated me so ridiculously. And I felt so confused as to why my body felt so messed up, because everybody kept telling me we didn't Narcan you, we didn't Narcan you. And it took until they let me out of the hospital for someone to finally admit that I was Narcaned. And then I tasted this terrible taste in my mouth for like 2 straight days afterwards. And someone had told me that meant that they had hit me a lot of times with Narcan. And that's one of my horror stories I'm willing to share at least.
And what's your current living situation?
And so I am trying to get into a position to stay with my mom a little bit right now. I was helping like watch her house when she was in the hospital recently. I kind of flaked out over the weekend and just like didn't go back to her house, kind of disappeared, which wasn't a good thing, but I don't know. I think I was starting to get stir crazy and maybe a little self-destructive again. But actually, I'm supposed to go there this evening.
And that's not a bad thing, you know. Take that step forward. Don't keep backpedaling, you know, because quite sure well mom misses you. Have you called her since you've been out here?
Yeah, I did talk to her last night. Or actually, it was this morning. I'm sorry, this morning I called her. She didn't sound too happy, but she did answer at least.
You know, hopefully you would make it home. You know, you still have your looks, and when I have talked to you, you still have a good heart. You know, but Kensington got a way of making your heart harden.
Yeah.
You know, and Kensington is no place for none of us. So, do you have any clean time in between?
I've had a couple years before. I was probably in my early 30s. And then since then, maybe like 6 months here and there.
And what would you say contribute to you relapsing?
My inability to like adjust to real life and reacclimate myself to my family and all. Like I feel weird in my family. I feel like I don't really fit in with any of them, and I don't know how to feel like I'm at home or at peace there. I feel like I'm so distanced from my kids, even when I'm trying. I don't really know how to make things right entirely.
So, do the drugs, numbs that?
They definitely numb it. They dull the pain. They make it so I don't think about it quite as much. And I mean, it's not always that way. Sometimes I can bawl my eyes out even when I'm high as a kite, but most of the time I can kind of stay in space instead of here on Earth.
Well, I'm just here to tell you that the pain, the struggle, it comes back as soon as the high run off.
Yeah, and that's probably a big part of why I struggle to get any clean time now.
And how bad is withdrawal for you?
Pretty bad. Recently, I've been dealing with my blood pressure going up like within a few hours of me not having anything. It gets to pretty dangerous levels. And the throwing up is horrific. I mean, I once came down to Kensington after going a long period without dope, and I got off the bus at Kensington and Allegheny, and it was about 10 times between there and getting to Kensington and Clearfield, which is like 3 city blocks away. 10 times I was bent over to the point where I was on my hands and knees throwing up. And at the end, it was just like my body was heaving. There wasn't even anything left to push up, but I was heaving out little chunks of whatever was left in my stomach. There was nothing liquid to push it out. It was disgusting and it hurt so bad.
And what would you say that drugs took from you?
Everything. My ability to be a mom, my ability to be a daughter, my ability to be a friend, and a woman, a wife.
As long as you got breath in you, you could get all of that back.
Yeah. I know I've seen people that do it, and in the past I've tried to do it. It just, I don't know, maybe I always felt like I wasn't suited for regular life even before drugs, and I always felt like I didn't deserve it, so it's kind of hard for me to get over that. I mean, when I was young, I struggled with that.
Well, I'm here to tell you, you definitely deserve it. You know, you're definitely worthy. You just have to believe, you know? Would you start trying to believe for me? Or not even for me, for yourself?
Yeah, I've been working on it. Just
And
trying.
and how do your family treat you while you know, in your addiction?
Like I don't exist.
And how does that make you feel?
Like a ghost.
So when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Depends on what day of the week it is or what time of day it is sometimes. Sometimes I see a sad, struggling woman. Sometimes I see some empty, cold soul. Sometimes I see a helpless little girl.
And so for the people who watch these videos and they judge addicts, what would you say to them?
Be grateful it's not you. Be grateful you never know what it is to feel like you're unworthy of life or empty when you're living life. Be grateful you don't need a chemical to feel sane in social situations or in just a situation by yourself.
And for the supporters or the people who's watching this interview and they would like to reach out to you, how would they be able to contact you?
Right now, I really don't have many ways to contact me. I had a phone and someone stole it last week. This jerk. I tried to get it back and he wanted money. And when I got the money together, I couldn't get a hold of him. I have an email, but it's attached to the phone. I haven't tried to get into it yet.
So would it be okay if they drop a comment in my inbox and I give you the message?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, y'all heard it. Y'all could leave them, you know, in my comments and I will give her the message.
Thank you for listening, watching, and supporting people like us and people like you that do this.
And I want to thank you for coming through and, you know, sharing your awareness with me today. And before I end this interview, is there anything else you would like to add?
So if my kids,
It's okay, love.
my kids watch this, I love you girls.
Well,
I miss you, Dad.
and you know, sometimes it's hard to see somebody, you know, shed tears, but shedding tears sometimes is not a bad thing because it still shows that you still feel and you're still not numb to this, you know. And I'm going to pray for you, and so with the people who watching this video, and hopefully next time I see you, we could do a follow-up on your success story.
That would be nice. Thank you.
Okay, and with that, you have a great day.
You too. Thanks.